Imagine this. You're sitting alone in a quiet room. No threats, no noise, no danger. The world is still, but your mind, it's loud, deafening even. A voice whispers that you're not good enough. Another shouts that you're behind in life. Yet another laughs, mocking your decisions, your hopes, your future. There's no enemy in the room, and yet you feel under attack. Here lies the brutal irony. Most people's greatest opponent isn't someone out there. It's something within. The battlefield isn't the external world. It's the unguarded, undisciplined mind. So here's the question. If your mind can become your own worst enemy, how do you become immune to its attacks? How do you build a version of yourself that cannot be mentally broken no matter what or who comes your way? To become mentally untouchable is not to become numb. It's not about pretending not to feel. It's about transforming the very nature of your inner world so that nothing, no betrayal, no chaos, no loss can reach the core of who you are. It's a form of psychological invincibility that isn't taught in school, whispered in motivational reels, or passed down casually in conversation. To begin that transformation, we have to start with a difficult truth. Your mind has been programmed to obey. From childhood, your nervous system has been trained not to grow strong, but to conform. You've been taught to obey the loudest voice, to seek validation, to find comfort over truth. Society conditioned your mind to avoid conflict, avoid solitude, avoid discomfort. Why? Because uncomfortable people are powerful. People who can sit with inner chaos and not flinch are dangerous to a world that profits from distraction, anxiety, and identity crises. The modern mind is overstimulated yet underdeveloped. You scroll through highlights of others' lives and absorb their wins as your losses. You read headlines engineered to ignite panic and believe that reacting is thinking. You absorb advice from people who haven't even mastered themselves. In this sea of noise, your mind, your most sacred weapon, becomes just another tool hijacked by outside forces. The first step toward becoming mentally untouchable is this. Reclaim your mind from the world. This isn't a metaphor. It's a battle strategy. You must become the architect of your own operating system. Reaction is slavery. If you're constantly reacting, emotionally, mentally, even physically, to everything around you, then you are no longer in control. You've become a puppet. Think about it. One insult ruins your day. One setback destroys your focus. One person's opinion derails your confidence. Is that strength, or is that fragility wrapped in a fragile ego? Reaction is the ego's addiction to control. When you feel attacked, you react because the ego needs to win, to defend, to be right. But mental invincibility doesn't emerge from being right. It emerges from being unshakable. Let them insult you. Let them misunderstand you. Let the world throw shadows. The mentally untouchable don't collapse under darkness. They absorb it, transmute it, and turn it into light. You don't stumble into mental toughness. You build it deliberately, brutally, patiently. You build it when you choose silence over noise, when you choose discipline over pleasure, when you sit with pain instead of escaping it, when you train your thoughts like an athlete trains their body. No one is born with a fortress mind. That's a myth. The people you admire for their calm, their composure, their ability to remain stoic in hellish situations, they weren't born different. They chose different. Over and over, even when it was boring, even when it was hard, especially when it was lonely. Mental untouchability is forged in private, far from applause. Here's a revelation that most never grasp. You are not your thoughts. Let that land. You are not the voice that says you're worthless. You are not the anxiety before you speak. You are not the guilt that lingers after a failure. Those are echoes, programs, data points. They exist in the mind, but you are the awareness behind the mind, the watcher, the observer, the witness. When you start seeing your mind as a tool, not an identity, you become dangerous. You separate who you are from what the mind screams. You create space. And in that space, you gain power. You can intercept, challenge, and rewire thoughts that would have once controlled you. This awareness is the seed of mental immunity.